What's going on, nerds? How's it happening? Hey, Jagger, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Xander?
I'm decent. I'm decent. I'm still recovering.
Still recovering. Yeah. How was the weekend?
The weekend was great. So for those who don't know, I took my 6-year wedding anniversary trip to Maine. We went to Acadia National Park, and it was awesome.
Fancy.
Aside from the fact that, so when we got there, it was raining. And the next day, when we actually decided to go to the park, it was raining. It was torrential downpour, actually. We we're like, oh, you know what? Let's just drive through, because it's this massive park that you can actually drive through. There's like this big loop throughout the entire park that you drive through. And we're like, let's just drive through. Let's see what we can see while we can. There were a couple things where we, and by we I mean Jackie, wanted to go see. We were gonna walk around to some parts. There's this one where there's like the Acadia Gardens or whatever, and we walked out. I shit you not, we were not outside for more than 5 minutes. And when I say torrential downpour, I mean torrential downpour. I have a weatherproof jacket, and the water was still seeping through.
Oh no.
That's how bad it was. But it was cool because during the rain, we got to see Thunder Hole. No, this isn't a terrible porn. Thunder Hole is actually it's like a cutout on the coast, and as the waves come in and crash into this little cutout, it makes what sounds like thunder. It was really cool, especially during a storm that we were in. But it started to clear up right around lunchtime. We got to walk around a bit. And then the next day, our final day, just before a 6-hour drive, my wife thinks it's a great idea to try literally the hardest trail in the entire park. We are rock climbing 1,000 feet into the air. But we did it, and that's something that we can say, yep, I've done it. 10 out of 10 will not do again.
Hey, I mean, at least you did it.
Yeah, at least we did it. And
At least
it's funny because we're like looking everywhere, like, do we get like a token or like a medal or something? Nope. You look up the website, and it even says you face near death and scale these heights, and you are rewarded with breathtaking views. Get the give me a medal. I don't want no breathtaking views.
Next thing we know, Xander's gonna come back with a T-shirt, and it says,
"Yes, give me a free T-shirt.
I faced death in the face, and all I didn't even get this T-shirt. I made it myself."
Facts. Well, but anyway, good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 27 of Comic Relief, the live weekly talk show for all things comics, their on-screen adaptations, and everything in between here on the Box Network, the new talk show network covering comic, horror, anime, and music news. If you're joining us live on Twitch, please note that alerts are muted as not to disrupt the flow of the show, but will be acknowledged at the soonest opportunity. If you're watching the recording on YouTube, an easy way to show your love and support is to make that YouTube algorithm happy by giving this video a like, share, and subscription to the Box Network. If you'd like to stay up to date with upcoming shows and news, join us on Discord or follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Links will be in the description box down below. But for now, on with the show. We are your hosts. I'm Xander.
And I'm Jagger, and tonight we're taking a look back in time. Some of our old theories about comic book movies and shows. Were we right? Did it pan out the way we wanted to? Can we predict the future? The answer is no. But to get the definitive answer on all those questions, stay tuned. But first, the nerd news.
The nerd news. Let's go.
With new sound.
Nice little shing.
Xander, why don't you take it away for us?
I will. I want to say I do want feedback in chat for the sound effects. I'm going to be playing around with these over the next few weeks. So that one's a nice little shing.
I didn't get to hear it. Hang on. I'm turning it on. Play it again.
You want me to play it again? All right, 3, 2, 1.
I like that.
Yeah, I thought it was nice and subtle.
It is nice and
Uh,
subtle. I do
I
like
was
that.
debating between either nice and subtle or like Hans Zimmer style. Mm-hmm.
Well, if that were the case, then we would need a much more dynamic animation on screen. A very in your
Mm-hmm.
face kind of
Oh, just wait till you
nerd
see the
news.
spoiler alert one.
Oh
But
no.
anyway, the news. Natalie Holt tweets out a cryptic bat emoji with a girl following, hinting that she may be doing the music for an upcoming Batgirl project. Ooh,
Hmm.
Batgirl,
Uh,
eh?
I know HBO Max has said that they were doing a Batgirl movie or mini series. I don't know if it's been confirmed which is happening, but I know HBO Max is following in the vein of like Matt Reeves the Batman
Okay,
verse. So I think we're getting a Batgirl story somewhere in the mix.
okay.
Um
I would love to see that in series format.
yeah, I think um I don't know. I'm kind of I don't know. I'm in the middle of it. Um
We'll see for like DC stuff. My kind of like train of thought is I want to see more DC series. Not necessarily like in the vein of like Titans and so. I mean, Titans is getting better, from what I
yes.
hear, and that might actually be a really good kind of example
Mhm.
to start creating more series based in the DC universe, and
Yeah.
they can try some stuff out, see how it goes. If it completely fails, then yeah, obviously fuck off. But if there are bits and pieces of it that are working and they're tying into the rest of their DC universe that they're kind of creating, then
Yeah.
they can build upon that. They can take what they learn and continue on and make something good for the DC fans out there.
Well, they sort of did that with Arrowverse, but they had to like dumb it
Hmm.
down for public TV.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah,
for
that was
those of you who
unfortunate.
don't know, who aren't familiar with Natalie Holt, she did the music for Loki on Disney
Oh,
Plus.
that
She
I did
also,
not know.
yeah, she also did music for the the Emmy award winning feature feature film Paddington.
No.
Yeah, she,
Like
but
the bear?
yeah, Paddington Bear.
Oh my.
One of the only films on Rotten Tomatoes to have a perfect critic and audience score. Believe that?
Wow, really?
Yeah, Paddington is one of those like historical films for some reason.
That's crazy.
Um, but her big one that everyone's gonna know is she's the composer who did the Loki theme and the TVA
Okay.
theme.
Which quite
So
honestly that's actually like
such an
uh
iconic sound,
yeah.
and it would translate really well to Batgirl. It's
I
not
think so too.
it's dark enough, but not too dark, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas like Hans Zimmer was kind of like perfect for Batman vibes.
Mhm.
Natalie Holt is really well for like Bat Family vibes.
Yeah. That'd be perfect. I
Yeah.
want to see it. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
What else we
Speaking
got?
of good vibes, we got Netflix. They gave us our finally after years, they finally gave us our first look at Neil Gaiman's The Sandman, and the trailer looks insane.
I'm
We
gonna
have
have to
badass
I'm gonna have to see it. I've only
Tywin
seen
Lannister
character posters.
himself. Yeah, Tywin Lannister himself is doing the monologue talking about how they're trying to capture an aspect of death, and they're showing all the different characters in the circle doing this ritual, and his final words are, "Which one did I get?" And he says, "Dream, best of luck." And they show like an insane looking image of Dream trapped in this cell, and it looks like they're literally taking the comics and then pasting them on the screen, and I'm so excited.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I've been following the Sandman project forever, back when it was going to be a made for TV movie, then it was going to be a feature film, then Netflix picked it up as a film, now Netflix picked it up as a series. I'm so excited.
That's awesome. They also have a audiobook for it, right?
Yes, there is an audiobook version. That's where a lot of people got into it, was the audiobook, because the
Okay.
different voices were really good. But the comics and the graphic novels are top notch. Highly recommended. I need to pick up the rest of them. I've read them. My friend owned them in college, and I powered through them all.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at that one. Let's
Definitely.
see. Next up, we got some more DC news. Johnny Zhao India Moore and Vincent Reagan have joined the Warner Brothers Aquaman movie, Aquaman 2, that is now in production with James Wan returning as the director. Meanwhile, Randall Park, our homeboy Jimmy Woo, has returned
Woo.
to reprise his role from the first installation of the film as Dr. Stephen Shin, who was helping out Black Manta.
Yes. Let me pull up the news thing here. It actually, I saw that there was an update that said what characters these people were playing. Hang on one second.
Ooh.
So for sure we know Jason Momoa is back as Aquaman. Patrick Wilson is playing Orm.
Mm-hmm.
Yahya Abdul Mateen II is playing Black Manta. Mira's in it. Dolph Lundgren is playing King Nereus, which is cool.
Well, wasn't he in the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
Love Zhao is set to be playing a mystery character named Stingray.
Oh.
We don't know if it's a villainous nature, but it's an original character created for the movie. Moore is playing longtime DC character Karshan. Character was originally a Green Lantern villain, who was originally a shark that, after being hit with radiation, gained intelligence and telepathic powers. So basically, King Shark, but Green Lantern version.
Huh.
And Reagan is playing Atlan, the ancient ruler of Atlantis.
Oh, so flashback sequence?
So we're getting some flashback, maybe some history on Atlantis. That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. So far, that's about all we know. We know that the movie is set for December of 2022. December 16th is the tentative release date.
Okay.
Oh, apparently Atlan did appear in the first Aquaman movie. He was portrayed by Graham McTavish.
That was like a brief moment
Very brief.
in the film.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like a little flashback.
Yeah, a little flashback to when he took his stand or whatever, and then
he had to find Atlan's trident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Very brief.
I vaguely remember that one.
Yeah.
Still not happy about Amber Heard being in it, but okay.
No, I was really excited when they said that. Oh God, what's her name? Amelia Clarke was gonna replace her. I was kind of rooting for that one. I'm upset that they're keeping her on. It's gonna hurt the movie because I honestly don't think I'm gonna see it because of that.
Yeah.
There are a few things that I will boycott for the sake of somebody else. Movies are one of them.
Yeah.
As hype as everybody's gonna make it out to be, and as much shit as I'm gonna catch from some people, for not going to see it, I don't know. If I can catch it for free, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But that'll be eventually. I'm not gonna rush to theaters to see it.
Yeah, that's one of those things where if it's on HBO Max, I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, basically. I'm already paying for that. I'm not giving them extra money by watching it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What else we got here?
So amidst all the craziness at DC that we've seen in the past year, it's interesting to see now that we have directors that are coming forward with more things. Alan Taylor, the director of Thor: The Dark World, and he's also directing the upcoming Sopranos story, The Many Saints of Newark. He's saying that Thor: The Dark World was not the movie he made. He's saying that Marvel Studios was trying to influence the movie a certain way, and that's why the movie is so bad. And he's saying that he may do what he's calling a Taylor cut. I mean, director's cuts are no different thing. We've seen director's cuts, producers' cuts of different movies. They've kind of faded away in recent years, even though because a lot of studios don't back them.
Yeah.
But there's apparently rumors that there's another version of Thor: The Dark World.
That'd be interesting to see, because the one takeaway from Thor: The Dark World that I really enjoyed was the fact that it was dark.
Yeah.
I enjoyed because
it was supposed to be darker.
Yeah, because if you take the original Thor movie and then Thor: The Dark World and just look at them, just those two alone, it looked as though Thor: The Dark World was really trying to get gritty, and kind of brutal, kind of have that more kind of Viking-esque kind of vibes.
The actual Norse feel.
Yeah.
I
which
was into it.
I really enjoyed, and I enjoyed the overall aesthetic of the film.
Yeah.
Obviously, we both know the troubles with the film itself, like writing
Yeah.
wise and everything.
Yeah.
But there was a lot from that movie that could have been really cool.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see his take on it. Now, my only thought on that is, what if it's worse? You know,
Yeah, I mean, there's always that aspect too. But what if it's not?
only time will tell. Let's see if
Yeah,
let's
I
see if
mean,
he puts out a director's cut.
if it actually happens, I'll watch it for
Yeah,
sure.
that'd be
I mean,
pretty
Thor
cool.
the Dark for the longest time, Thor the Dark World was one of my favorites. I defended that movie hardcore.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm also one of those people that has a soft spot for certain styles of films.
Okay,
Like I defend bad movies that I find fun. Like
fair.
I still and I'm hurting my credibility here when I say this. I still like the Daredevil movie. Like the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
All right, see you later. I'm
All
out.
right, see ya. I'm hosting the show by myself now. I did it.
Peace.
I did it. Success. But no, it's arguably a bad film. Yes, I can say that now because I look at movies as film now,
Mhm.
and not just movies. But as a movie, it's a fun movie. I still damn
Fair.
Elektra to the grave, but
Mhm.
I will if it's on TV or if it comes up in my queue, I'll watch Daredevil.
Fair. I won't fault you at that.
Mainly for Michael Clark Duncan, but
True.
I
True.
don't know. All in all, I think the movie for the time we were given and the themes we had at the time, it was a decent movie. I can't say good. It was a decent movie, and I still
Now, I
defend
don't
it.
know why, but seeing Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin, for some god awful reason, there's one time where I thought, what if they swapped him out with Ving Rhames?
Ew. Ew. You can leave. You can actually leave now.
Well, no, I just thought
Leave.
it'd be funny because, like, no matter what Ving Rhames says, he sounds like he's crying or halfway
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
And
I can't stand it. That's one act I can
that's
never get
so
behind.
fucking funny, dude.
I can never get behind Ving Rhames. I don't know why.
Probably that reason,
Uh,
just that reason alone.
probably. Probably. It's just like there are
uh,
certain actors that have faces that you just want to punch, you know?
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, but I love Nicolas Cage.
Okay, so
There's
you're
such a
one of those.
I have such a soft spot for Nicolas Cage. I don't know why I love Nicolas Cage, but
I'm not gonna lie. I'm the same. I'm the same.
Nicolas frickin'
I
Cage.
I do like. Did you watch The History of Bad Words?
Yes, I did.
Dude, that was fucking hilarious.
I will say this much. The only Cage films that I have not seen are his most recent ones. Like I haven't seen
Yeah.
Willy's Wonderland, I haven't seen Mandy, and I haven't seen
Pig.
um Pig, and I haven't seen Color from Space. I need to watch those
Yeah.
four, which I'm getting Shutter soon for October, obviously.
I've contemplated checking out Mandy. It's just from the comments, not necessarily the critiques, but the comments on it doesn't seem like my kind of film. It
Probably
was
not.
like a gory art film is what
Yeah.
they described it as. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
but
I
I've
probably
heard it's
wouldn't
one
really
of
get it.
Cage's best performances ever.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
I might. I'm on the fence about it.
I don't know.
I'm
I thought
still.
about I was at Walmart earlier and I thought about buying Willy's Wonderland because it was sitting there on DVD and I was like, should I buy this?
Mm,
Should I really buy this? Because it looks so cheesy, but so fun.
yeah.
I don't
I'm
know.
still like I love National Treasure, Nick Cage. Honestly,
Me too.
National Treasure.
love
That's
National Treasure.
that's a movie that I hold near and dear to my heart because number one, my dad raised me to be kind of a history buff,
Uh-huh.
and that was like our go-to movie for pizza night growing up.
It's
I don't know.
funny
It's
because
just
I have a similar kind of feel because like it was a thing for me and my dad
Hmm.
because it came out around Thanksgiving
okay.
and it's I don't mean to be a downer, but it was the year that I was going through chemo, and my mom and my sister went out shopping for Black Friday, and me and my dad went to the movies and saw National Treasure, and I vividly remember that day. because it was like semi cold but not too cold,
Right.
and I get that like memory flash when it gets that temperature, and I think about that day, and then I'm like, I gotta watch National Treasure.
Yeah. There's like a certain vibe that you're just like, National Treasure would be great right now.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
I feel that. I
yeah,
feel that a lot. Which actually, funnily enough, National Treasure kind of coincides with our main theme for tonight.
yeah.
The conspiracy theories as far as comic books.
Yep.
But before we get to that, so what have you been up to this past week, comic related?
I I don't know if I talked about them last week, but I picked up 2 new graphic novels from Image.
I don't recall.
I picked up Philadelphia.
Oh, yep, yeah, I do recall that.
Yeah,
You got
it's
Philadelphia.
yeah, I picked up Philadelphia and I started reading it, and it's really, really good. The art
You
style is
mind
super
showing the
interesting.
cover for the
Oh,
viewers
yeah,
out
yeah,
there?
absolutely.
There we go. Look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Wow, that is really
Philadelphia.
cool. Is
Yeah,
that?
I'll show a couple pages from the art style too. Like this is the art style.
Oh, okay.
It feels super unfinished, but it's stylistic choice. It's pretty dope.
The cover art kind of reminds me of Francesco Mattina from here, at least.
Um,
Can't really get a good look at it. Let me.
does it say who the cover artist is?
Because Francesco Mattina, it was one of my favorite cover artists. He did a lot of Spider-Man 2099. Those are some of my favorite cover arts that he's done. He's also done a whole lot. Now
No, it
I will
doesn't
say
who the
he
cover artist is.
just on this topic. Do you have a favorite cover art artist
Um,
or some that you gravitate towards?
I mean, I'm a fanboy, so I obviously go to the Todd father himself, Todd McFarlane.
Right.
Um, Greg Capullo, I like his cover arts. Frank Miller, I always lean towards the dark and gritty.
Okay.
There is one cover art that I'm thinking of, and I'm blanking on the name. Hang on, I have it.
I love that you have it readily
I
available.
literally have it right behind me. Where's the book? It is. Is it Legacy or Gods of War? Ah, there it is. It's Deathstroke Gods of War. I love this art style.
That's sick.
Trying to see if it shows who the artist is. Tony S. Daniel. That's who it is.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
I
The
recognize
cover
the
of this
name.
one.
I've seen the name float around.
Yeah. Him and Greg Capullo probably do some of my favorite arts.
Yeah, Capullo is really good too.
So much
shit.
so that I actually have a sketch cover
Ooh.
from Capullo. Hang on, I'll pull it out now. Of the new King Spawn that just dropped. It is a
Awesome.
legitimate 1 in 500 sketch cover.
That is sick.
Issue number 1. Hopefully gonna be worth some pretty good money someday.
Yeah, I still need to unearth my Ultimate Spider-Man 1 comic still in the plastic, the one with the first iteration of Miles Morales.
That one going for some money now, especially with all the Miles hype going on.
Last I checked, it was going for like 40, so it might have gone up since then.
I think it has.
Because I bought it for like what was the normal price, like $7?
I think cover price for those is
Because it was back when. Do you remember
$5.
across from where my brother's place used to be, or MVP, that little comic shack?
Yeah. Comics MD. That's where I used to get my comics from.
Yeah, I got it from there.
Yeah.
So
apparently, value is all over the place. There was an unsigned 9.8 of it sold for $4,000.
Get the fuck out.
And then there was a raw unslabbed unsigned copy for $1,600.
Get the fuck out.
And then there's a raw number 1 standard cover for $960. And then it depends on if it was like first or second printing, because like second printing goes for like $80-$90, but they go anywhere from like a couple hundred to a couple thousand.
Well, if mine is in the couple thousand, you telling me I can pay off my credit card debt?
Basically.
Oh, damn. I'm gonna hold on to it for a few more years. But for me, honestly, just What If, really. Still not wowed by What If.
So disappointed, honestly.
Yeah, like literally the only important part of What If was the last 10 seconds. And even then, who knows what's really gonna come of it.
Facts.
I mean, we had a freaking childish Thor the entire time trying to party it up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, they're just dropping the ball all the way. In other news, though, I did start watching Star Wars Visions. I know it's a little bit more Otaku's Anonymous based, and we don't necessarily have a Star Wars show on it, but there is a Star Wars comic, so I'm going to talk about it here. I've gotten 3 episodes in. That's about as much time as I've had for that. And I gotta say, the first one was fantastic. That art style, holy crap.
Yeah. Honestly, the first one was my favorite. I would have liked if that style of episode continued on. I know that they were all done by different studios. There were a few that couldn't hold my interest.
Okay.
I know the one with the twins was really good, but that was
Yeah,
because, like,
that's my
halfway
favorite
through,
one so far.
I
Also, I kind
realized halfway
of like
through who
the
the
Trigger
voices were.
art style.
Yeah. My interest held when I was like a couple minutes in and I realized who the voices were for the twins, and I was like,
Yeah.
I have to watch it.
Freaking Neil Patrick Harris and Alison Brie.
Yeah, that was
Like,
big.
What? And I went through the whole IMDb page. There's so many people. There's like George Takei is in there. Freaking Simu Liu obviously is in there somewhere. There's just so many. There we go.
I'm paying attention. It's good, Google. I promise.
I will say, so I actually started watching it when I was at work, so I had no audio, just subtitles.
God.
So I watched the first.
The audio in episode 1 was beautiful.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to rewatch episode 1 then. I
Yes.
rewatched episode 3 though because I was more fascinated by basically like the colors and the art style and everything. I really enjoyed that one. The second one,
for sure.
I had no desire to go back and rewatch it with audio.
It was
Because
interesting. It was a nice
from the
little
bits
take on,
and
like,
pieces that I saw during when I was at work was like, it was just, I mean, I am a music guy, but at the same time, like,
I mean, it was kind of cool to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the lead singer of a band.
that was Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, now I have to go back. Damn,
He
I
was
feel
the
bad.
front man. I don't know. The music in it was super nice because it was like, it brought punk to Star Wars. So
it was punk music.
Yeah, it was punk music.
Fuck. Now I did.
Yeah,
now I definitely have to watch it.
It's like neo Star Wars punk. It was kind of cool. I was interested.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check it out.
But yeah,
damn.
Definitely watch that one. I think the first 3 episodes are their best ones.
Okay.
I don't know. Disney Plus shows here in like the past month or so have been doing that. They start off really big and then they start to take a dip and then they don't recover well. I don't understand how. Or they try to keep you around long enough for like the big episode.
Yeah, it's almost as if they kind of know what the best episodes were, and then they put them on the forefront, and then the rest are just like, okay, it's just don't worry about it. You can trail off if you want.
Yeah, basically. How many more episodes of What If do we have? 1 or 2?
I think 2 more episodes.
Okay. Do you think we're actually getting Infinity Ultron for an episode?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the next episode. I mean, it would make sense. I feel like
it's been on the damn poster since announcement.
Yeah, after the last few episodes, I'm not really holding out. I'm just
I'm just kind of watching it to say I've watched it.
Yeah, like at the same time, I will say in kind of like your mindset with Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
At least the Thor episode was kind of fun. Like I felt like I was
Yeah.
watching. I felt like I was watching like back when I used to watch the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon on Disney or Disney XD or
Yeah.
whatever. Like yes, I was a grown man watching Disney XD, but
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah, it was
There's
fun.
nothing wrong with that.
It was fun. You know, Drake Bell. You know, before everything came out about him. But you know, Drake Bell did a pretty good job at playing Peter Parker Spider-Man. You know, and I enjoyed it. And then they graced us with Will Friedle as Deadpool. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I love Will Friedle. Please, dear God, don't let something come out about Will Friedle that's gonna make me fucking hate him. Because we already got Drake Bell now.
Yeah.
Fucking. I always gotta like watch what I say when it comes to actors these days. Like, oh yeah, he's a great actor. He's a great actor now. I don't know if like the fact that we have to worry about that.
Cancel it by proxy. It's like, oh, you support that actor? I can't support you anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's just fuck. I just keep it in. Just don't be a fucking dickhead. Like.
Yeah, basically.
God, these fucking actors. Anyway, let's get to the main meat and potatoes. Let's go right into our theory talk. And I feel like I should give a spoiler alert, not just because I want to hear the sound effect, but also because there may be something that we talk about that could be potentially spoilery. So I'm gonna go ahead and 3, 2, 1.
I expect that.
Oh, spoiler alert!
I expect that to be a lot more dramatic than it was. I'm sorry. So much build.
Okay, so that one. So that one you would say probably would benefit from a Hans Zimmer.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree with that one.
All right. So let's talk some past theories, and there are a couple that I know for a fact that I wanted to bring up, but I'm pretty sure you're probably also going to bring up. The way I saw you write the show notes, I had this idea. I want you to bring up some of my past theories, and I want to bring up some of your past theories that never came to fruition.
Okay.
Or did come to fruition.
Oh, okay. Do we start with the big one, or do we start with some small ones?
You know what? I know you. I trust you. I love you. I'm gonna ask you to go with your gut.
Your trust is misplaced, boy. So the first one, I'm not gonna say the first one that comes to mind because that's a big one. I know one that we both subscribed to that didn't come to fruition. That was the Mephisto / Nightmare theory from WandaVision, starting the year off. We both heavily found all the different connecting details to one of the dark ones coming to fruition, and it just never happened. I think we'll eventually get it, and we're still sitting there picking at details for if and when said person can arrive. It can happen at any moment. All the placeholders are there for it. All the callbacks are there to the it was me all along, Mephisto.
Imagine.
I don't know why Mephisto became Skeletor, but
I don't know why. For some reason, when you said that, and I think it might be because we just finished talking about Star Wars Visions, but I imagined Mephisto, weirdly enough, played by Neil Patrick Harris, and he has a dance number stealing the tune from Agatha All Along, saying it was him all along.
Oh, okay. I could get behind Neil Patrick Harris as Mephisto.
Like a kind of campy but sinister.
It'd be so suave. Like I would make a deal with Mephisto at that point. Like
right. Well, because and also probably because I've also been watching Lucifer.
Yes.
I kind of want like a more suave kind of Mephisto.
But with the ability to be sinister.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because I know I've seen it. I know Neil Patrick Harris can go off the handle. Like he can pull off the psychotic demon vibe if we need him to, and that's actually a really good casting.
I might be honest.
Yeah, you might.
Now, now that we're sorry, my brain, the way my brain works, I'm not like on like a fan casting thing for Mephisto now. For some reason, if we're looking at like an older Mephisto, Ian Shane.
No, I'm gonna veto that. I can't see
Really?
Ian Shane. Or am I thinking of the wrong person?
I'm thinking of American Gods.
Oh, Ian McShane. Yes.
McShane.
Yeah.
McShane. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought there's another one. I think his name's Ian Shane. That's who I was thinking of, the guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah. No.
But yeah, Ian McShane.
Work.
Ian McShane, I can't see. Well, I could see, but I wouldn't want to because I can't see him as anything else other than Odin now. Like, he's cemented himself in my brain as Odin in American Gods. Such a good show.
Yeah, I need to continue watching that. By the way,
I need to catch up on season 3.
I left off. I think it was the episode where it first introduced the spider god.
Anansi.
Yeah, Anansi.
Nancy. He's
which
my favorite
honestly
character.
that opening sequence. Sorry, I know we're going off on a tangent here, but
it's still comics.
Yeah, it's still comics. That opening sequence, introducing Anansi on the slave ship.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Nancy's my favorite character in the book, in the comic, and in the show. Like
really
so good. Yes, he's such a good character.
That was a powerful moment too.
He's such a big character that he got his own spin-off book called Anansi Boys. It's about his sons.
Wow.
Yeah, super good. Such a good writer. Neil Gaiman is a fucking genius.
Now, I know I brought up this idea, but now I'm blanking on some of your past theories because you for the most part you've been pretty much on the nose.
I've been fairly right most of the time.
Especially with the big one, the one I know.
Oh, we talking about it now?
I might as well.
Xndr.
Fucking Sharon Carter.
I have a question for you. Who's the power broker?
Sharon Carter.
Thank you. Who's not the power broker?
Kingpin.
Any of the people you named.
Mandarin. Anyone other than Sharon Carter.
Baron Zemo in secret. Like, you had all kinds of crazy conspiracies of who the power broker could be. And I was I sat there and I said, dude, what if it's Sharon Carter? You said no. That's impossible.
Because I saw it. I saw it obviously, and I was like, you know what? I was giving more faith into it than honestly was deserved. I was like, you know what? Maybe they're doing this on purpose. Maybe they want us to think it's Sharon Carter, but it's not. And I'm like, oh, wait, fuck me.
Like, you went so in detail with that theory that you were like, they timed the release date of this trailer with the episode where they revealed the power broker. So I think it's perfectly timed that they're going to reveal that the Mandarin is the power broker. Like, you had pinpoint timelines. You were Charlie Day with your board.
But I mean, was I wrong to think that though? I mean, I feel like the evidence could be solid.
Ooh, that's Escabubu brings up something good in chat. People are speculating that Sharon was on the phone with the girl from Shang-Chi, the sister.
Oh, Xialing.
Yeah.
I
That's an interesting thing.
I don't knock that. I think that is very valid.
Yeah. That's very valid because I mean, what did she say at the end? She said we're gonna have a lot of new product coming in.
Yeah, something along those lines.
That ties in with the 10 rings thing perfectly. And they did say that the 10 rings will return. So what if the 10 rings are going to show up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier season 2?
Also, can we talk about the audience members of Shang-Chi when they were like getting apparently they got upset enough to where Kevin Feige had to make a statement about it. But they're like, oh, why does it say the 10 rings will return, but it doesn't say Shang-Chi will return? I'm like,
it's pretty implied. He said, welcome to the circus. Like, he's in it now.
Yeah.
Come on. It was heavily implied.
There was actually a interview with Kevin Feige conducted because of this. And
Seriously.
they're like, oh, so we're we were curious. People are wondering, why does it say the Ten Rings will return, but Shang-Chi won't? Do you not have faith in the project? And he's like, no, it's very much implied. It kind of, if you watch the movie in full,
Yeah.
it kind of it's
Yeah.
kind of speaks for
It's
itself. I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
what? Didn't know
Oh
how to
my
spell her name. I
god.
have a lot of theories pop up in my TikTok. Oh, you got some TikTok theory. Ooh,
Yeah, TikTok
that's another
theory
thing I
is
kind of want to
wild.
touch on. There's been some wild shit on TikTok lately.
Yeah. Um, let me think. I know you had a theory with Loki, not the Kang theory. There was another one. I'm trying to remember because you were right
Oh
about the
man,
Kang
the only
thing.
thing I can remember about Loki was the Kang theory that I was right about.
Yeah, that was your big win for the year.
That was my big win. I will
That was your
take that.
big win.
If I
Yeah.
had an applause button, I would play that right now. But just please chat. Go ahead and applause for me.
Insert applause here. I'll give you.
Yay!
My microphone doesn't pick up the clapping for some reason, but um, yeah, the Kang theory was the big one for you. Your big
Yeah,
win.
that was a big one.
Um,
You got the Sharon Carter one. Let's see. Let's backtrack a little bit. So WandaVision, we were both kind of
we
wrong
were both
about.
sort of all over the place because we did throw out the Agatha Harkness theory because we were
Yeah.
trying to tie it to Mephisto. So we said, what if Agatha Harkness comes in, blah blah blah, and then she did, and then we didn't expect her to be the main villain. We expected another big villain reveal because we didn't know how they were going to handle these shows.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I remember one that I was wrong about. The whole new Sokovia thing becoming Latveria. We
Oh
thought that
yeah. No,
I thought that was gonna.
I really liked that one too.
Yeah, we both said that that was gonna be a thing in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it never came to be.
Yeah.
They might be holding it out for something in the future, but so far it's been disproven that Latveria is a
Hmm.
thing because we haven't been introduced to Doctor Doom yet. That was one I theorized that Doctor Doom was the power broker.
Yeah. That
I
was
really
another
wanted
one.
that one, but I quickly changed my tune to Sharon after the Madripoor episode. I was like, it's a little sus, it's a little sketchy.
Yeah. I just
Um,
damn.
I'm
I'm
trying to remember some of your other
that power
ones.
broker one still makes me salty. I kind of want to go
I
back a little bit.
understandable.
Do you remember any predictions or theories that you may have had during the old school Marvel films?
Oh man.
I remember one in particular for me.
What was yours?
So coming off the high that was Spider-Man 2,
Hmm.
um, I theorized that they could bring in Mysterio as the main villain of Spider-Man 3. And this was my whole idea. And keep in mind, I'm like what, maybe middle school, like early high school age,
Yes,
something around there.
had to be.
And this was also right around the time where 3D was a huge like selling point for a lot of movies. Like everyone was
Hmm.
trying to make things 3D. So
Hmm.
I thought Spider-Man 3D. The main villain is Mysterio. His main gimmick is illusions. How cool would that be as as a movie? Like
In theory,
you have like a scene where the like he's fighting Mysterio, and in the fight scene he does this thing where the ceiling breaks apart and falls on top of him, and you see the camera just pan over to the ceiling, and you see the ceiling falling on top of you and stuff like that, like just like shit like that. Like I thought that
I
would
don't
have been
know.
so fucking cool.
At a younger age, yes, but knowing now how bad the 3D effects were back then, like I'm kind of glad we didn't get a Spider-Man 3D because
I
3D
know.
web swinging would have given me such a migraine. Like I already
Yeah,
have a
no,
hard time with 3D films as it is, but
yeah.
like that would have been a little too much. Um, One I theorized, if I remember correctly, um, I remember I had a lot of theories about future Hulk films after the Incredible Hulk. They had a Norton one. Um, they did a setup for the leader with Samuel Stern,
Right. They did do that.
which never came to fruition, and I suspected that it was going to be the Raft breakout, where you had the leader who was manipulating people and eventually got Ross to turn into the Red Hulk, but that never happened because that storyline never got continued or picked up.
However,
However, with the inclusion, with the retrieval of Abomination from that film franchise, and saying that it's actually connected to that film, our first link back to that film, it makes me wonder if Stern is actually on the raft as well.
I think he's there.
It could be a future plot line. We could finally get a Mark Ruffalo Hulk film. I'm
Or
curious.
what if he pops up in She-Hulk?
Could pop up in She-Hulk. One thing that I know it's not going to happen, but I think it would be kind of hilarious if they did. Kind of similar to how everybody's theorizing with Spider-Man No Way Home. You have Mark Ruffalo's Hulk or Bruce Banner actually run into Edward Norton's Hulk in like the multiverse break. Yeah. Or like a mention of that Hulk, or like how he used to be, how he used to look, something like that. I think that would be kind of funny.
That'd be interesting.
But I don't think they'll ever do it.
No, especially given all the BS behind the scenes from the Edward Norton Hulk film and Disney and all that.
Exactly.
Like I think that would probably be a big no. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Eric Bana at some point. Just like a throwaway line, like this fucker or something.
This guy. I know. Shoot. I'm trying to think of some of my other old theories. I know I had a theory back when the X-Men movies came out. So we're going way back. After X-Men 2 and they teased Phoenix in the next film, I had a theory that we were actually going to get like the cosmic adventure Phoenix Force kind of deal. Sort of like what they attempted to do with Dark Phoenix. But no, they completely shattered my heart with that film.
How did you feel about Cyclops dying like in the first 5 minutes?
I was fine with it. I don't like Cyclops.
What?
I don't like Cyclops. I don't like
thought
Cyclops
it was like
in any medium.
Back when I saw it, I was like, I equated it to seeing like someone kill a dog on screen. Like I was like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Why?
Nah, I kind of had that moment of like, thank God, shut his ass up. I'm tired of him. I was fine with it. I hold no apologies for that.
Granted, I am more of a Havoc fan than I am Cyclops, but still, like given the way
better.
Yeah, but like given the way the films were, and you know, also being much younger at the time, I'm like watching this, I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a weird choice.
Yeah.
But let's see. I didn't really do a lot of theorizing back then. I just kind of did like a lot of hopes and prayers, like
yeah, fair.
So like you did with Spider-Man 3, I had the same deal when they announced Venom. I was hoping for Spider-Man 4 we were going to get Carnage. And eventually go into like a Maximum Carnage. Like, okay, so I did do a little bit of like deep digging. Oh, after Spider-Man 3, I was like, oh man, Spider-Man 4, you could do a whole thing where it shows like he cut his arm during that fight with Venom and the symbiote attached to it, and that became Carnage, and blah blah blah, and that's how you explain this and that. And they never did a Spider-Man 4, which I'm kind of thankful for because they would have fucked it up anyway.
Yeah, because didn't they had a lot in place for Spider-Man 4. They had John Malkovich as Vulture.
Yeah, Vulture was supposed to be a villain. They were supposed to do Scorpion. They were rumored to do Carnage, and then they were going to do something else. I think it was going to be like 4 or 5 villains. They were just going to keep doing more and more with each film, and I'm like, okay, you need to stop now.
It's getting a little much. That's my biggest fear about Spider-Man No Way Home. Which, I mean,
I fear that it's too ambitious for its own pants.
I mean, I will say this, like if you look at something like Civil War, in a sense, you could kind of make maybe say, oh well, there's multiple characters in this, and then like Avengers and stuff like that. But I mean, the biggest problem with Spider-Man 3 was that it's introducing new characters,
Right.
new villains. And granted, I think the only one that had a really good story was Sandman. Sandman was the best one because he had a fully fleshed out story. You got to see the backstory. You got to feel for him a little bit. Harry, I understand that Harry does take up the mantle of Green Goblin in the comics and stuff like that. Yes. But the way they went about it, I didn't like it.
No,
I didn't like it at all.
They should just put him in like an updated version of his father's suit, not this whole new Goblin tech surfboard bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I didn't like it at all.
It was dumb.
I mean, and granted, like even looking back, even the first Spider-Man film, even as a kid, I was like, I don't really like this Power Rangers villain. I loved Willem Dafoe. I loved him out of the suit. And the dialogue and stuff like that, but just like him in that suit killed it for me.
I wouldn't say it killed it. It hit a nail for me. Like it takes it down.
Yeah.
Still probably one of our. I mean, it's our only on-screen adaptation of Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Technically we have the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Goblin, but I don't want to talk about that.
That was terrible.
Arguably, if you put them side by side, that one was worse.
Yeah. Easily.
I'll take Power Ranger suit with a good actor inside of it over whatever the fuck they gave us there.
Yeah, that was and since you bring that one up, I was really hoping that they were going to go the Oz serum route with that and be like, Harry helped figure out whatever they were trying to do to save his dad, and they inject him with it, and then he turns into like the hulking ultimate goblin thing.
Well, yeah,
or whatever.
that's kind of what I thought they were going for with Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man. I thought they were doing more of an ultimate, which is why I wasn't super mad about like the character design choices and the effects, the way they did the effects. I'm like, it very much felt like the Ultimate comics, and I'm like, okay, I'm on board with this.
Yeah,
they're giving us good stories, some decent characters. We have potential for growth here. Toby Mcguire was very much the classic Amazing Spider-Man. And it's what's crazy about Spider-Man as a comic franchise is there's always so many different versions of Spider-Man because Spider-Man is not the same as the Amazing Spider-Man, which is not the same as Superior Spider-Man, which is not the same as Spectacular Spider-Man. They're all different series based around the same character, but a different version of that character, different origins, different powers, different like tech or gear or whatever. And they're kind of doing that with the movies, which if they do it right, No Way Home is going to just bring everything together to make it so that we can have all these different Spider-Man and possibly more Spider-Man.
Hold up. I just had like a ding light bulb moment. Okay. One thing that has not been said, at least from what I've seen, what if, this is a big what if, in Spider-Man No Way Home, towards the end, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man get a visit from Madam Web.
An interesting small inclusion.
I would like to see that. I would, as like a diehard like 90s Spider-Man cartoon fan, I want to see like Madam Web show up and be like, y'all are fucking shit up. You guys gotta stop.
Well, I mean, it would make sense for if Sony wanted to continue their Spider-Verse, because that's what they're setting up. They're setting up a Spider-Verse. And if the rumors are to be believed, they're expanding it more and more with each movie that comes out, Venom included. So here's my pitch for how they do this. And keep in mind, I haven't seen any spoilers. I haven't seen the movies yet or anything like that. So this is pure speculation. This is what I want to happen. This is what I would do if I worked and that Sony Marvel deal. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Reveal it that takes place in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man world. That's the Amazing Spider-Man universe. And then when they bring in all of the Spider-Man in Spider-Man No Way Home, reinvigorate the Andrew Garfield series and let him continue on as Spider-Man again in the Sony Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Leave Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Let the timelines run concurrent. Know that the multiverse is a thing. And if they ever need any of the characters, say for something like Secret Wars, we can do that. Because then you do Secret Wars, you bring in the other Spider-Man, or you bring in Venom. And that's how you get Tom Holland's symbiote suit. And because, I mean, that's how he originally got the symbiote suit to begin with after Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Comes back from Secret Wars, has the symbiote on him, creates the black suit, etc. Then you get Venom. You can have an MCU version of Venom in Tom Holland's movies. I mean, it would work out because then Sony could do their thing with their darker, edgier Venom style Amazing Spider-Man. Because, I mean, the style of Venom in the Venom movies is very much like Ultimate Venom.
Yeah.
Which fits with Andrew Garfield's theme.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do that. Because I liked Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker. I loved it.
I do too.
With them going through and fixing his villains, like, I mean, we're getting Electro in this film, which he's stylistically fixed. Send him back to his universe at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, and then send Garfield back to his universe to continue his own movies.
Genuinely, that actually, I think that honestly could be the route that they're taking, given that Sony and or Disney have like come to some sort of an agreement for a shared universe for some time. Yes. But at the same time, like, I think the caveat to that is like, at what point can we carry on and do kind of like our own thing, and you guys do your own thing, and then, you know, at some point in the future maybe we can meet again and like can do some stuff. Like, I feel like that makes the most sense.
So the only caveat to that is, in order for that to work, Maguire Spider-Man has to die.
That's fair.
And it's gonna.
That's fair. I mean, like, I love Toby Mcguire Spider-Man. I love
same.
That was our first one. You know, that obviously there's a nostalgic bias there, but at the same time, like, we've gone how long without Toby Mcguire Spider-Man?
Yeah. I know.
You know,
and it's going to be so bittersweet because we're going to be so excited because think of it this way. You're sitting in the theater, you're watching Spider-Man No Way Home. The movie's going, shit's going crazy, shit's going haywire. All of a sudden you hear the web swinging music from Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit comes swinging into frame, and you're reliving your childhood. You're so excited.
I'm gonna cry. I'm going to cry. I'm crying right now. I'm not showing it on screen.
40 minutes later, he's killed by Doc Ock. How do you feel?
I'm gonna cry.
Gonna cry. Yeah. Like Tony Stark death kind of cry.
Yeah.
Because
but it's an
understandable.
It's understandable though.
It's understandable, yes, 100%. I think it would be great. Honestly, I think it would be their best move because it gives a finality to an unanswered question of the Tobey Maguire universe. It allows us to be able to open the door for Garfield, who's still young enough to play a mature Peter Parker. And it allows Tom Holland to continue on in the MCU style Spider-Man. Because, to be honest with you, we don't really have the opportunity with the way they presented Peter Parker in the MCU. We don't have the opportunity for some of the really deep storylines that they could potentially do.
Yeah.
If you threw it into the Andrew Garfield universe and let him handle it with his emotional range and his depth and darkness that they have established already, it would make a whole lot more sense. And it wouldn't drive away MCU fans because you can enjoy the Spider-Verse without having to deal with the MCU.
Yeah.
There are people who heavily avoid those things because of the MCU influence, because of Disney influence, and it just ruins superhero movies for them. So
personally, though, I do want them to kind of, if they do go that route, I would want them to kind of scrap pretty much entirely their original idea for their Sinister Six stuff. I didn't really like the man with the hat. I didn't like the deleted scene of his father returning. I think
oh yeah.
I would much rather them go the Clone Saga route sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
or like an LMD kind of deal if
Yeah, for sure.
if they were to bring the parents back.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as the Sinister Six, I would utilize No Way Home's kind of retconning of the Garfield universe and
Yeah.
kind of just move forward with that. Just completely disregard everything in the past,
Well,
and
that's
even
essentially the
rewrite the
fix.
Goblin stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So if you go back, so think about it this way: you end of Spider-Man: No Way Home. You think like maybe half a year to a year later, they announce a new Amazing Spider-Man film. Garfield's back in his own universe
Mm-hmm.
where Venom and Carnage exist.
Mm-hmm.
Norman Osborn is well and running Oscorp, but he's developed the Oz serum, and he's the fucking Green Goblin. And Andrew Garfield doesn't know about it. Comes back to his own universe, and there's a whole lot of fucked up shit that he's got to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And the villains that he
Give
fought,
me a Green Goblin that's throwing fucking fireballs and looks like the goddamn Hulk. I want it.
Electro's back, and he looks like he did in No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
Lizard comes back, and he's bigger and badder than ever. Like all the villains that he thought he fought and knew how they are changed because the multiverse got rewritten.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ultimate retcon. They're pulling a Days of Future Past because Days
But
of
doing
Future
it better.
Past did that, but doing it better. Days of Future Past did that in an ending scene where he comes back and it's like, okay, because I went back in time and I did these things, it fixed everything that happened in the original trilogy, and these things exist in the same universe. I'm like, okay, all right, fine, sure, I'll accept that. I think Spider-Man fans would be a lot more accepting than the X-Men fans were.
Yeah. They're like, wait, Cyclops is dead.
I don't give a shit. Let Cyclops be dead.
I mean,
Let him.
I like
let
I
him-
like him. I like him in Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm not talking about the actor. I'm talking about the character of Cyclops.
Yeah.
Suck it.
Yeah, he's kind of like a football captain kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No,
Now,
thank you.
I have a wild question. This
Okay.
is completely off topic. Is there
Okay.
something in your life that you have gotten recently that you think more people should have in their life?
Huh.
The reason I ask this is because I want you to pick that one thing and I want you to sell it to the folks right now. All right? You sell it to the folks and sell it to a potential future sponsor while I go refill my beverage.
So you're having me riff and fill because the most recent thing that I got, it's not fun to talk about.
No, I'm not talking about hemorrhoids. I'm talking about
No. No. God, no.
but no, here, fill some time while I fill my glass. I will be right back.
Alrighty.
I'll be back in 2 shakes. All right, 1 sec.
I don't want to be sold nothing. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and sell people on these delicious Korean butt candies. They're peach flavored, but it looks like a butt. They're delicious and they're stupid cheap. And I get them at this local Asian grocery. Um, but like, look at the texture on these things. I'm gonna get close with them, and they're shaped like actual peaches. They're not like super deformed or anything like that. So like they got the butt crack right there, the little leaf on it. They're nice and squishy. They taste delicious. They're imported, so you can say you're fancy. And they come in this resealable bag with a bunch of instructions and nutritions that I can't fucking read. And the packaging looks like a butt. What more could you ask for? Selling Asian candy. Does that count?
Dude, Asian candy sells itself.
I know. I copped out.
Oh my god.
No, because the most recent thing that I bought for myself is probiotics. I don't want to talk about those.
I mean,
Hold on.
that could actually be a good sponsor for us. We are
Yeah.
reaching that age. We are and most of our viewers are reaching that age. No, we gotta take care of ourselves. You know.
All right. Ollie Probiotics, please sponsor us because we're old and our
Yes.
guts are messed up.
Speaking of
Especially
getting
mine.
old, the first thing I thought of when I came down from that mountain was like, I want to go and chug a bottle of joint juice. You ever had joint juice?
No, but I've heard about it.
You've heard about it. So this is a drink that is chock full of was it chondroitin, glucosamine, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it basically lubricates your joints. Now the reason I know of it, the validity of this product, is because when I was younger, my dad went out to it was either like BJ's or Costco, and he bought like a big like fucking pallet of joint juice for himself. And I had just gotten back from the skate park, and I was like, I'm thirsty, but I don't necessarily want water right now. I've been drinking water all day. What else we got? We got some joint juice. I'm like, okay, sure. It's the closest thing we have to like fruit punch right now. So I drank it. Tasted fine. It was okay. Yeah, it's fruit punch. You could tell there's like some vitamins and shit in there. But the crazy thing is, for as long as I can remember, my knees always crack whenever I squat down. They crack and pop and stuff like that. But I chug like maybe like 2-3 bottles of this shit, and I squat down, nothing, and it felt lighter. It felt like protected. It was amazing. So there we go. We got probiotics, joint juice. Sponsor us. Because we're old, but we don't look that old.
Welcome to Geriatric Relief, the new talk show where we talk about all your aches and pains and getting old.
Rebranding here right now.
Rebranding.
Oh, I fucking love it.
We're no longer a comic book show. We're a geriatric products group.
Yeah, we just talk about like what aches and pains we dealt with in the past week.
I'm not gonna lie.
back.
I could talk about my aches and pains for an hour or so.
I'm right there with you. I mean, granted, so the little bit I told you, we did mountain climbing, and then I drove for 6+ hours. So not only are my legs and my knees and my ankles and kind of like my shoulders all aching, but also my lower back killing me.
Oof.
Killing
you ever have those
me,
moments?
man?
You ever have those moments where it's like after a long day, you come home, you sit down, you're relaxed, you finally like unwind, you don't feel sore anymore, and then you go to stand up and both your legs just cramp up and it just says, "Nope, not today."
Mm-hmm.
That's my
Also,
usual day.
at what age? I wish I knew this. At what age was it like God was, or Buddha or King Simu Lu himself up there was like, you know what? You've reached this age. You are no longer able to put on your socks while balancing on one foot. You're gonna have to sit down for that shit.
Oh, dog! I haven't been able to do that since I was 10, but that's other reasons.
Dude,
I envy people that can stand up and put socks on. I have to find like the nearest like wall to do a wall sit or countertop to rest my ass on.
I reached 25. I remember this vividly because like I was like, all right, so after you turn 21, what else do you have to look forward to? And I remember 25. Oh yeah, that's when your insurance goes down a little bit. That's cool. But also at the same time, you can no longer balance on one foot and put your sock on the other foot. No, you got to sit down for that shit because guess what? Everything is tight. Everything is just super tight.
Oh boy, buddy. Just wait till you hit 29. You can't wear ankle socks anymore because it makes your calves swell.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
That's my bread and butter.
Oh, yeah, now I have
I only have ankle socks and no-show socks. The only other socks that I have are like I wear crew socks just for either work or when I'm wearing like my dress boots.
I have circulation socks that have to go up my calf to make sure that my calves don't swell up. That's my curse right now. That and I probably emit more grunts and groans while trying to move than I emit words in a day.
Oh my god, that's been me and Jackie since we got home last night.
Like I'll go to get up at a chair and it's just like
There's Dad.
yep, there's Dad. Here he comes. He's getting out of his chair.
I just
We
want
got
to know.
20 minutes.
I kind of want to know at what age do we get to the point where we can watch TV while sleeping? Did you ever have that growing up? Like my dad would fall asleep either watching like the History Channel or like he's watching the Nats game or something like that, and I'm like, yo, he's fucking dead ass asleep. Like he's snoring everything, and then I decided to go up and change the channel. He's like, hey, don't turn. I'm watching that.
That was me an hour ago. We're literally me and Meg are sitting on the couch watching horror movies. We're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, and I was falling asleep, but she looks over. Hey, what? You're missing the movie. No, I'm not. I'm watching that. Or I'll say I was just resting my eyes, or I was only dozing. It's me on a nightly basis, dude.
Oh,
It's
man.
27. I'll tell you that now. The age is 27.
Okay, that sounds about right because that was me last date night.
That's
okay,
the age, and you're at it. You know you're at it.
Okay, so not last date night, but the date night before last, we were watching Lucifer, and I'm laying down on the couch, and I'm kind of just resting my eyes a little bit, but I'm still like mentally awake, like I'm kind of like just like whatever, and then I can feel Jackie kind of like sit up and like look towards me, and so I just like open my eyes slightly. And she's like, "Are you sleeping? Are you asleep right now?" I'm like, "No.
Of course not. I'm
fine.
awake. 100% awake.
I was about to ask you that.
Right. I was about to ask if you were okay. Gosh.
Oh man. Oh god. This is one of those conversations I kind of want to have with the other guys too. We gotta get Coop and Charles up in here.
Yeah. Well, I feel ganged up on because I'm the old one here.
Listen, I feel like Coop is honestly an old soul, both mentally and honestly physically. He's taken a couple falls in his lifetime. I feel like at this point, you know, we gotta get a Box Network yoga stream going on where we just need to stretch it all out. We gotta stretch it all out. Fucking
no, please no.
Just downward dog it and come on.
I'm too old for any downward anything. Only thing that's going downward is my health. Yeah, I'm kind of on the same. I'm on the same boat as Escabubu. I fall asleep just about anywhere. It's almost like I reverted back to me as a baby. I eat. I drink something warm. I fall asleep. I have that problem at work. I'll be sitting there doing my job, sit at a computer, well, on my office days at least. I sit at a computer, I'm drawing, I'm doing things. Next thing I know, I'm asleep, but I'm still clicking things. Next thing I know, my entire drawing is highlighted, and I don't know why.
Oh man.
And they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing. I'm fine."
Huh? What?
Get up.
Huh?
I get up, walk around, go get some water, slap myself on the back of the neck, and go back to work. And the next 5 minutes later, I'm dozing off again. And I'm like in the middle of doing something. It's like sucks. I'm just like,
that's one thing I'm glad at work. Like it already came standard with the office. We have the kind of like a version of the Very Desk where you lift it up and you can stand and work. But even then, I find myself I'm like resting my elbow, which by the way, my left elbow is dry as fuck because I'm always at work, just resting on this elbow, chin in hand, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, what? Huh?
This episode took a turn.
It definitely did. This is what happens when both of us are drinking.
We started going back in time, and now we're talking about our aches and pains.
Oh man, I love it. I love the just the ADHD kind of loosey goosey kind of.
I don't know what an HD is, but the doctor just called and said I got 80 of them. All All right. Any final
Oh,
bits
goodness.
of theory talk that we want to get into?
Well, I wanted to kind of touch on. So, what are some theories other than Spider-Man? What are some theories with what we've got going on with the greater MCU as a whole? Because I mean, I would love to talk theory about DC, but let's be honest, there's nothing consistent enough to really go on.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they don't necessarily have a more cohesive kind of universe.
I'll
Like,
theorize more when they officially announce that they're doing the Snyderverse.
yeah,
Because there's rumors that it's gonna come back. And
yeah,
if
I've
it
heard
does,
those rumors.
we'll be able to theorize on that.
Yeah,
As far as the MCU, it's kind of on autopilot at this point.
yeah.
It's sad to say, but there really is no theorizing with it because they tend to pull the rug out from under us every time.
Sharon Carter.
Sharon Carter, Agatha Harkness, no Mephisto, no big villain reveal except for Kang, and he wasn't even technically Kang the Conqueror at that point. He was just He Who Remains, Immortus, whatever. They never gave him that
Well,
name.
I mean, it was a combination of He Who Remains
Right.
and Immortus.
Exactly. So they're constantly doing that to us, and they're doing such a good job of keeping things under wraps now because they're like essentially it seems like they're locking their actors in basements because they're barely doing any interviews about it. They're not doing press tours until trailers drop, details get revealed, like officially revealed. Like no one's talking, no one's tweeting. Like I haven't seen a tweet from Tom Holland in I don't know how long.
Right?
Boy can accidentally spoil it with like a single
they
thing.
recently started doing work on the Marvels, right? Haven't heard shit from Brie Larson.
Nope. It's like as soon as they start doing filming or work on anything, their social media accounts go into lockdown.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a Kevin Feige thing or if it's a Disney thing, but leaks in the MCU have become so unreliable, really, because there's so many deep fakes going on out there, especially with like the one with like Andrew Garfield on set that was a fake video of a real video of a fake video of a real video. Like you don't know what's real anymore. We're living in a simulation.
Speaking of, you excited for The Matrix coming out?
I'm half and half excited.
Okay.
I think they left it at a good point with the original trilogy, and then the little bits of expansion they did. From
the breakdowns that I've seen, it's interesting to see that it's almost as if the first trilogy, which I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there as far as theories go. I think they're gonna do a whole new trilogy. And it's almost as if like the first trilogy was like some kind of like Truman Show kind of shit. Because from the breakdowns, there was like bits and pieces of like one of the characters is like the guy in the office or whatever. It's almost as if he is aware of the first trilogy. Like he's aware that they were like movies almost.
Right. So one thing that they did confirm when they released this trailer is like everything that's been Matrix related that's come out since the original film is all canon. That includes the 3 main movies, the Animatrix, Enter the Matrix the game, and then the Matrix mobile game, the one where they kill Morpheus. It's all canon.
That is actually very interesting, especially
very wild.
I like that. I like that.
That's like the one thing that's kind of drawing me to it because it's like, okay, are they going to start bringing in things like Code and Sector from Enter the Matrix? I loved that game. I played the hell out of that game. And their stories were great. Sector was my favorite, and Ghost, he was in it.
Dude,
I'm interested.
That's one of those things where like
story wise though.
Like that's something that I wanted to see with like the MCU where they just take and we're kind of sort of seeing it with like potentially No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, but like
again we don't know.
We don't know, but like the idea that guess what? Everything that has ever been like related to this in any way, shape, or form is now canon, and we're just gonna figure out a way to fucking make it connected like that to me that's just like that's kind of cool. Like
I mean it is kind of cool, but at the same time it feels almost like a cop out because in that world, they kind of just say, "Oh yeah, we have multiple Spider-Man, multiverse." Cool. Just say there's a multiverse. Problem solved.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
bit annoying.
I mean, in Marvel's respect, that is a very real thing in the comics.
Well, they did the same thing with DC, where they were like, "Okay, let's do."
Multiple
In the
Earths.
Arrowverse, they did Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they had the crossover where their Flash met Ezra Miller from the Warner Brothers Flash,
Mm-hmm.
like, and they did this thing where it's like all the old TV shows existed, Smallville existed, um, the old Michael Keaton Batman films existed because they showed those films in the show. Um, I don't know.
Which I
It
think
feels like I
it's cool in
guess
a sense of like I think that's like the epitome of fan service. Like that I enjoy it for that reason alone.
yeah, but at a certain point, you kind of have to ask, do we need it?
We need it if it's written properly. That's what I
But
would say.
how often is it ever written properly? Really? I
That's what I'm
mean,
hoping for No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness and The
that's what
Matrix.
has me worried. That's what has me worried. Because with the Matrix, they can literally just say, okay, yeah, that was canon. It's all a simulation. Of course, it's canon. Anything can
Hmm.
change at any moment in time. Boom, explained. And they don't have to touch on it anymore because they could just dazzle us with an amazing story, some great special effects, etc., and we'll be good to go. Doesn't matter.
Hmm.
With the MCU, however, there's so many different sub series and sub remakes and reboots and things that have happened that how many do you include? Because if you include one, you have to recognize them all.
Yeah.
That includes recognizing not only like the original Spider-Man trilogy, the Amazing Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, Eric Bana's Hulk is now part of the multiverse at that point. All of the X-Men films, both timelines, actually all three timelines because there's three of them because
Dude,
of Logan.
speaking of the X-Men timeline, I remember like trying to explain that to like a coworker back
Yeah,
when like Days of Future Past and all that stuff was coming out,
it's
and
confusing.
dude, I literally like took the time, like I had like a piece of paper and I like wrote out all the movies and then drew the
Mhm.
lines and stuff like that. It was, oh my god, it was. And
Yeah,
even me, for someone who like understands what was going on, I was like, wait, hold on, this happened in this one, so that means that. Okay, let me just scrap this one. Hold on, I got it.
yeah, it gets to be a little too much because there's so much that's been done over the years, and like not only do you have all the history of the MCU as it like stands concrete, you have all these other universes, as they're going to call them, that exist. How many do you
Hmm.
recognize?
Yeah.
If you introduce Tobey Mcguire Spider-Man, it's in the same realm slash era as Eric Bana's Hulk.
Hmm.
Are they the same universe? Are they a different Earth? You got to explain that kind of stuff because
Hmm.
fans like us are going to ask those questions.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to a point where we're either going to get too much or not enough. And I don't think they're
Yeah.
going to find a healthy balance between the two.
Well, I guess only time will tell.
Only time will tell. That should be our
But
slogan from now on because we've said that every episode.
yeah, only time will tell. But
Mhm.
anyway, thank you for joining us today, guys. Join us next week live here on Twitch as we get down and nerdy with it yet again. Or if you're watching on YouTube, catch us again next week on Wednesday on YouTube. Jagger, what do we got for Otaku's Anonymous and Cursed Tapes this week?
Otaku's Anonymous is doing an episode called If Villain Bad, Why Sexy?
Ooh.
I'm interested to see what that's going to be about
Ooh.
officially.
Because
And
bad girls do it best.
not just bad girls, bad guys. Because
Yeah, you're right. There've been some
anime villains as a whole are
there've been some
pretty
sexy guys.
sexy. There's been some
Yeah.
sexy people in that show.
Yeah, you're right.
Um,
You're right.
and then Curse Tapes is going to be it's a bit of a special episode. We're doing a couple different things on Thursday. I'm doing an in-depth breakdown of The Haunting of Hill House.
Ooh.
Yes, me and Meg just rewatched
Ooh.
it, so we're doing an in-depth breakdown on that. And then we're also doing a look ahead to October as a whole because
Oh.
October on the Box Network is Curse Tapes Takeover Month. So all the content that's happening is going to be planned by yours truly. and potentially hosted by yours truly or guested with. All of it will be horror related or horror in theme.
Just spoopy
So
in general.
stay tuned for that. I will be announcing the full schedule of what's happening in October. This week, we'll be going over everything that is planned on Thursday night. So if you want to see the schedule, you want to know what we're doing, some potential giveaways and contests. So you should tune in on Thursday. Just saying.
Yeah, tune in on Thursday, guys.
But yeah, that's what we got going.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was actually gonna try and lead you into that, but you kind of took the reins on that one.
Yeah.
I like that.
I was ahead. I'm there.
This is why we're co-hosts. This is why.
I got you.
Not because you prefer Reese's pumpkins because they have more peanut butter, but because we get each other, despite our differences.
Say it correctly.
Did I not say Reese's?
No, you didn't.
I told you last week. It's a slip of the tongue.
Reese's pumpkins.
I have to think about it before.
I'll give it to you. We've both been drinking. It's fine.
That's fair. That is fair. But anyway, if there are any topics you'd like to see us cover on this channel, please leave a suggestion in the comments down below or in chat while we're talking. It's always good to hear from you guys and just figure out what you guys want to see. And if you enjoy what we're doing here and want to help support us and let us know that what we're doing is even worth it, other than just two guys just chatting around about geriatric shit, please share, please share, and subscribe to the Box Network on YouTube. And I hope you all have a great night. And stay nerdy, my friends.
Setting in.
I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.